One extra.
What's good, my beautiful people, and my ugly people as well? You're about to watch an episode of Charlie Sloth's Wrap Up. Now, the show normally lives on the iPlayer, but it only lives there for 30 days, and my beautiful friends from outside of the UK can't watch the show, so now we're bringing it here to YouTube. Sit back, relax, and enjoy it. Now remember, if you want to watch exclusive episodes of the Wrap Up, you've got to go to the BBC iPlayer. You can do that by clicking right here. You see that there? Magic, fam, man's like dynamo. I'm a magician inside the Wrap Up, cuz. Get involved. Welcome to this week's episode of Charlie Sloth's Wrap Up. If you're into hip hop, rap, or grime, we got you sorted right here. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, Sloth, why you got a bandana, stroke, J-cloth, and sunglasses on? Well, cuz Chip just dropped the brand new video for Feeling Myself featuring Tino and Wretch32, and his look got me gassed. Apparently, it's sponsored by a famous chicken brand, and they had to fit as much as they could into 1 hour. Check the video out, Wretch is on fleek.
Feeling myself, you ain't gotta like me. No hook, just verses on the beat, make a drink off the flow, K.A. so sweetness. But Great Britain in my piece, in it. If you're gonna do the rap, get the meat with it. Make you feel some type of way.
Never mind Rich Homie Quan, fam, it's all about Wretch Homie Quan. Now in other news, man like JME got to number 12 in the national album charts with his brand new album, Integrity. That is a crazy achievement. Man like French Montana, he's been away for a minute, but he's back, and he's back with a bang. He just released Casino 2, a brand new mixtape, which is better than most albums that have dropped in 2015. If you ain't already got it, you're sleeping, fam. Go get it, huh? Now today on the show, we are going to be joined by Akala. But before we catch up with him, let's check in with this week's in-house producer who goes by the name of Wizzy Wow. What's going on, bro? How are you, mate? You alright?
Yeah.
Good to see you, bro. Let's talk about some of the records you've been responsible for, man.
Be Cool, me and Wretch32, Chris at Michelle, and 2 Chainz, Charades.
So, bro, where's the name come from, Wizzy Wow?
It started off with Young Wiz. I just didn't want to be called Young no more. It just turned into Wizzy. Everything I was kind of doing, everyone's reaction was like, wow. So when we was in the studio, the engineer left it like, it was on record. In that conversation, he was talking about something. It was like, yo, Wizzy. It was just like, play that song. And it was like, wow. And then when we listened back to it, it was like, Wizzy Wow. It was a joke. The joke became serious.
Well, obviously, you're in the studio all the time working with a lot of big artists. Have you got any interesting stories or things that have gone down in the studio?
My most memorable studio session was with Chris and Michelle. She came in with shades on, so serious, nodded at everyone, and I was just like, oh, she's not gonna like any of my beats because them Americans, their thing is different. So I was playing some beats, and then she was like, stop. I was just like, oh my gosh, this is so embarrassing. She took her shades off. She's like, I love it. Play the next one. Something major came out of it. Grammy-nominated album. We got 3 cuts on there, so
that's a crazy look, bro. So you got 3 beats for me to hear today, right?
Yeah.
Let's check them out.
This one's called My Main.
That's sick.
Purple Friday.
That's sick.
Next one's called The End.
That's the one. Let's go with that, man. We're gonna go with The End. We have to hear that record through the entire show. Man like Wizzy Wow. They don't call him Mr. Wow for nothing. Wow. Now, when it comes to fire in the booth, we only deal with the elite rappers. And this week is all about Young Reach. This guy is on fire right now. The work rate is on 100. But before we get into some highlights of his fire in the booth, let's get to know him just a little bit better. Well, writing in your phone, on paper, or in your head?
In my head.
Writing to the beat or writing to nothing?
To the beat.
Live band or backing track?
Yee, live band.
Underground or mainstream?
Mainstream.
Independent or sign?
Independent.
Groupies or steady girlfriend?
Ooh. Steady girlfriend.
Models with bottles or storyline?
Storyline.
Slim or curvy?
Curvy.
Beyonce or Kim Kardashian?
Beyonce, mad people.
Favorite rapper of all time?
Of all time? Whoa. Whoa. Meat Mill.
Love for my people, that's regardless, car. As you're getting older, look up, know it's getting harder, car. Boys to men, see my niggas turn to father, so if you get a pass, you better see it as a caution. Look, my nigga, trying to raise a daughter, so the stress is a portion. Cause the grind's on his mind, cause the money is important, and he stacks on the rise, couple thousand in the floorboards. Perfect. Look up, love it when we shine and when it's all good. So I hate it when it's bad, when it's awful. Blowing smoke by the window, man only God can judge me, Lord knows I've been sinful.
Today, go to check out the full Fire in the Booth. Tune into the Saturday Night Rap Show, Saturday 10 PM on 1Extra and Radio 1. But right now, I'm joined by Mr. Fire in the Booth himself, Akala.
What's going on, brother? Yeah,
Good?
it's great, brother. I can't complain at all. Really well. Just finished tour, so recovering from that. But it's good. It's amazing. We did about 16 dates total, 2 in Europe, then 13 shows in 5 days in the UK. Myself and Mike Righteous as well. It was good. Up and down the country, grafting. It's not new to me. I mean, it's probably, I think that's my 8th headline UK tour, but it's definitely been the most successful so far. Like every year we tour and it builds a bit. Really exciting. Did 2 dates at the Jazz Cafe. Both sold out, so it's good. We're just working on a new one for November, December, which will be a bit of a longer tour.
Now, bro, you've been in the game for the longest time. What is it, like 14 years?
Nah, no, I wish that. Well, no, I don't wish that long. Well, my first mixtape came out 2004. I shot my first video December 2003, back when Channel U was popping. So that is, what, 12 years now. I mean, I've been rapping since I was a kid, right? But my first album was 2006, so that's 10 years next year. So we're gonna do a big thing around that and take the best tracks from each album and repackage it. I suppose I've been consistent for a decade, but it's been a minute, and it's gone quick.
Now, down the new broadcasting house, the £1 billion building, the cameras are forever rolling. We do not miss a trick. And this week, we was treated to some real goodness. Check out Lady Leisha and Lady Lights doing their damn thing. Melody Kane on the 1s and 2s. It was a movie.
Got lyrics to make them fidget. Hear me, they wanna mimic. Thinking that I'm a gimmick, I spun them like on a pivot. I'm in it, got them jumping like frogs and they wanna rib it. They holler, I got them waiting like holding the phone a minute. I'm sick, I'm so sadistic, I hit like a bat in cricket. Fine like I'm on a train and they caught me without a ticket. I know I got the balls and I'm aiming towards the wicket. That's how the cookie crumbles and I ain't taking the biscuit.
Look, all I do is dream big, small, but I'ma be big. I'ma be notorious, so all I ever see's big. I don't wanna die yet, so I don't wanna see big. Ow, too packed in here, even though the scene's big. I have a dream like Martin Luther King did. Even though I hardly go to sleep to know what sleep is. I remember when my dreams were shattered into pieces. I had to go back to the drawing board and call some meetings.
And we had man like Chip in the studio with Cyan Anderson addressing some grime issues.
If I say I'm best newcomer time ago, who am I talking about?
You.
So if that offends you, you have insecurities to deal with yourself. That's how I look at it. I'm not out there saying, yo, hey, Tiny's insecure, but if we're cool at a point where you have my number and I have yours and you've picked me up from college, and don't forget you was a support act on my tour. Everyone's looking like I'm reaching. So you wasn't around as Cyan Anderson at the times where I was helping everybody out. You see what I'm saying?
So still to come on the show today, we've got Akala performing Mr. Fire in the Booth, and I'll be catching up with our US gossip girl, Valerie Lora. Oh shit. It's not only about the music view, which I think speaks volumes of the type of person you are. You've got the Shakespeare Company as well. Let's talk about that.
So Hip Hop Shakespeare Company, for those who don't know, is like a music theatre production education company. We set up in 2009. The last tour we did was of Richard II, because it's got some of Shakespeare's best writing, but also some of his worst. So all the bits that are boring, we just deleted them, and we kept the 5 or 6 really strong speeches in there. We had Lady Leisha in it, we had Josh Osho in it. Bashi played Richard II. And we created a concept album, and then with lots of acting in between. Did a tour of it, and then did 3 shows at the Purcell Rooms. We're sort of revamping that for a bigger scale for 2016. But then alongside that, we do loads of educational work in schools and colleges, abroad. We've done a few projects in India, in the Philippines, in Morocco, Algeria. So we've done a lot of stuff looking at different ways to approach language and different ways to engage. Because a lot of the time you go to school and you learn something like Shakespeare, for example, and it's made very boring. But then when I start to explain to young people how it actually was when he was performing it, we're like, hold on a minute, that sounds a lot like performance poetry. So the way it would work, for example, if you was playing Romeo and I was playing Tybalt, man will send you Romeo's lines. You wouldn't see the whole play because it was expensive to print back then. They'll send me Tybalt's lines. Come the day, we'd hardly ever get to rehearse together, and it would almost be like a battle. So people would gamble on my man's gonna act my man off the stage. And so it had a lot more of a competitive, theatrical sort of, it was all about the words. I know young people have to study this stuff, and I know as a youth man growing up, I love poetry. There's 160 songs in Shakespeare's plays. You listen to Woo growing up, you can't tell me that's not old school English. Man will use words like come off and benevolent in a rap song. But because they were from the hood and we could relate to them, it made you want to be intelligent. I remember going dictionary like, what does benevolent even mean? And so it's how you package intelligence. If you package intelligence like Carlton Banks, no one wants to be the geeky guy who no girls want to chat to, right? Whereas if you package it like Wu-Tang, everyone in my era growing up was like, that's the thing. We know that this idea of representing all like this and talking posh. Nobody sounded like that when Shakespeare was alive. They sounded like country people. So they pronounced the word ours, ers. So even just doing it in that kind of country accent, immediately makes it feel like not so much like a thing just for posh people. And so hip hop Shakespeare's mission, I suppose, if I was to sum it up, is really about decolonizing Shakespeare. Shakespeare's been something that's used to beat poor brown kids over the head with, you know, the wonder of the English language. It's just too sophisticated. But when you start to look at it, my man was like a Nas. You can't tell me you love Nas or you love Tupac and you wouldn't get it in another form of literature. The reason why young people are not getting it, because the people that are teaching them in a way that's either boring or treating them like they're foolish. I've gone into prisons and done this. That's been the mission of that. It's been an interesting journey, but really the aim now is for film, TV, theatre to try and show people what hip-hop meeting Shakespeare could look like in the 21st century on screen and on stage.
Yikes, what's good, Charlie? It's your boy Tino, come on. Today I'm down at Crooks and Castle's London headquarters to show you those summer drops, so let's get it. Alright, here we got the 3-piece skeletal paisley drop in a navy blue colorway. I really like the bone paisley print that we got going on. It gives it a lot of flow to the drop. It's really light, so it's like you're not wearing it, and it just looks so good. Now, I bet you didn't know that Crooks and Castles did eyewear. These are the Violento Neo shades. Now, if you're planning on laying on the beach this summer, then you need these. What I'm liking about them is the matte black colorway and the square cut. Real clean. Are your pants always sagging low? Did your grandmother try and get at you about pulling your pants up? Then get the A1 belt from Crooks and Castles. Free it up, yikes! You need these. 4 yikes. Bonafide. Bam, bam, bam. 4.5 yikes.
Yikes. Thanks for that, Tino. Next week's dope drops will be coming from the Profit and Lost showrooms in central London. Now, fam, I wanted to play a game of Rude Boy Redette with you, but as soon as you come in, you was like, Charlie, fam, I ain't eating them beans.
Yeah, unfortunately, bruv, I don't eat refined sugar. Some people know I'm a vegan.
How long have you been a vegan for?
I've been a vegan for 9 years.
9 years?
A long time.
No fry-ups for 9 years?
No milk. No eggs.
No steak?
No animals at all.
No kebabs?
No fish, nothing. We're educated in a certain way because food companies make a hell of a lot of money keeping us unhealthy. And that's killing a lot of people, particularly poor people. When we think of healthy people or vegans, we tend to think of these middle-class hippies. But really, for those of us that grew up around Rasta movement, it's been normal. A working-class, kind of Caribbean-centered health movement. So that's something I want to bring back to the table. But then lately, me and my friend Shaka Bars, we both tried to give up refined sugar. It's very important that we start to learn about health and nutrition and growing our own food. But you can only lead by example. When I tell people I'm a vegan, they say, oh, but what about me? You can't train with this. That's one of the reasons I did the Bang With Us video. Enough men have been vegans. Mike Tyson's a vegan now. He ain't dropped any weight.
Mike
Tyson's a vegan. So you start to look at it and you're like, I'm naturally a slim dude. When I was younger, I used to be a lot bigger because I was a man that ate bare chicken and tuna and done bare weights. But that's not healthy for you. You're better off being within your natural weight, but increasing your power. Me and Shaka are starting like a vegan fitness thing together next year. And this is an extension of that. That's why I can't eat the jelly beans. Long way round of telling you, but I don't eat refined sugar, so it's not just the vegan stuff. I turn up to places to eat and people are just like, my nan gets angry with me all the time. When she cooks for me, I have to like pretend to eat it and just put it under the serviette or something. Sorry, nan. It's a bit peak. No Guinness punch, nothing.
Now, what's interesting about you, bruv, is the business model that you've created for yourself. A lot of artists, they've come and gone in the time you've been around.
Sure.
You've created your own lane in terms of how you reach your audience. You don't rely on radio, you don't rely on TV, you've got your internet videos that are popping, and you're still as relevant today, if not more so, than you was when you first came into the game. What was your thought when stepping into the business model that you've made for yourself?
I'll be honest, I don't think we knew. I think if I knew when I came in exactly what I was doing, there's a lot of things I would have done differently. So for example, if you look at a lot of my early videos, back then you didn't have these digital cameras. If you wanted a video that looked good, you had to spend money, bro. And we spent a lot of money shooting Roll With Us and Bullshit and War, and all those videos were shot on film. Now if I knew today that actually this thing called YouTube was coming, remember, even when I came in the game, YouTube didn't exist yet. If I hadn't had that foresight to know what was gonna come technologically, I would have probably approached the model different even from then. But obviously you live and you learn, and I think those videos made a statement anyway, but they weren't necessarily from a business perspective the best use of funds. Today you have technology where you can shoot a nice video for next to nothing. So I think we found out by mistakes and by trial and error kind of over the first 3 or 4 years, you no longer needed radio. Don't get me wrong, if you're on a Radio 1 playlist, you're laughing. That just reaches so many people so quickly. But we've built a model, as you said, that's totally independent of that. And I've done over 500 shows. If people come and pay to see you, and every time they come, they're impressed. It's a good show, there's material, there's thought gone into it. People are gonna pay to come back, and that's what we found. Every year we tour, the business grows by 10 or 15%. Now in any business, that's a healthy amount of growth. Does that make sense? It's kind of a model I'd like to try and teach and expand to a few other artists, because if you're willing to put in the graft, it will find an audience in this day and age because of the amount of platforms people have. But the key thing is that the material has to have that soul to it and that strength to it, where people will want to go out and almost evangelize for you. Go and tell people, yeah, have you heard my man's not? Do you know what I mean? So I think it still comes down to, I hope, having kind of relatively strong, consistent content.
Hey Hey Charlie, it's your girl Valerie Lora coming to you from New York City with this week's gossip. Note to DJs, if Amber Rose walks into the club and you're the DJ, try not to play any Kanye West song because Amber will go on a rant. To cut a long rant short, she basically implied that Travis Scott writes Kanye's raps. But Kanye didn't seem to mind. He was too busy smiling. Yes, smiling. First was when he received an honorary doctorate from the School of the Art Institute of Chicago. And second was only for a split second until he saw the TV cameras while courtside at a Bulls game. Fetty Wap surprised everyone this week with a new hairstyle. Dreads. Blonde dreads. The rapper revealed his new look on Instagram and is receiving mixed reviews from his followers. Spotify's chairman Martin Lawrenson took shots at Jay-Z this week when asked if he was worried about the rise of Tidal. His response was, "I got 99 problems and Jay-Z ain't one." Ouch. And finally, the game took some time out from beefing with other rappers to do a good deed. While at a gas station, the game came across Donald, who was fresh out of jail. Game kindly gave him $1,000 in cash and told him if things didn't work out, he would hook him up with a job.
Fresh out of jail, I'm gonna hit him with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. A rat. A nigga gonna get on the Greyhound. I gave the nigga my number, told the nigga, if you want a job, call me.
See you next week.
Man, like the game, you know. Thanks for that, Valerie. Now, the new album's out there. What album's this?
This is technically album number 5. Some people say Knowledge is Power 1 was an album because it was original music. I'm saying it's a mixtape. But some people are like, it was an album, it was an original song.
So it's 5, not 6.
I'm saying 5. Even though Knowledge is Power 1 is, I'm just calling it a mixtape. Knowledge is Power 2, because of the production values and because of the way we approached it, it is an album. There's no way around it. It's got that level of mix. It's got that level of musicianship on it. 5 albums in 9 years. Plus 2 mixtapes, plus A Little Darker, which was like the compilation we did in 05. That was mad. I mean, that had gigs on it in 05. Had Bashi on it in 05. It had Nasty Crew, Roll Deep. Even for us, it was like a really big statement of how much talent there was in the UK, and I think it was something that kind of got slept on. If it came out on a major, it would have been a big, big statement for hip hop or grime, but I don't think we were in a position as much then to make it visible, but we might revisit that.
Now, bruv, you're about to give us an exclusive performance of Mr. Fire in the Booth. Can't wait to hear this. You know I love that record.
No, thank you.
It's like an anthem for me right now.
Thank you.
Bruv,
let's do it.
It's been an absolute pleasure. I'll take the stage, Akala. Always good to
you
see you,
very much,
brother. Pleasure as always, fam. Oh gosh. So there we go, an exclusive performance of Mr. Fire in the Booth from Mr. Fire in the Booth himself, Akala.
Listen, Mr. Fire in the Booth, produced by MC Marshall. Big up, homie, listen. Knowledge is Power Volume 2 out now. They call me Mr. Fire in the Booth. Don't force me to remind you why I never gave a guy a blight ever. Who are ramp with I? The half-breed seeds brighter as disease, haunting them seas like they're Celine in Napoleon's dream. I mean, not a team, not a squad, nor a nation, unless it's Haitian, could break the back of my occupation. Cooperation is the only clever option. Open any choice you give and it's fake, kinda like you're voting. Either way, the victory's mine, son. Should have done as your mum said. Listen to that, I gave you life that's inside of you, and I provided you. Now you want to question the very wisdom that guided you. Sounding like enlightened fools running from a spiteful brew. But in my city we don't know how to be nice at all. We know the knife's a tool, and that this life has rules, and the youngest lose them and lose them just on their back to school. Fire in the booth, booth. They call me Mr. Fire in the Booth, booth. They call me Mr. Fire in the Booth, booth. Cause I'm always spitting out the truth. They call me Mr. Fire in the Booth, booth. They call me Mr. Fire in the Booth, booth. They call me Mr. Fire in the Booth, booth. Cause I'm always spitting out the truth. They call me Mr. Fire in the Booth, protect your neck. Cause it's Sun Tzu with a hoodie on plate or with a pair of crepes. Used to rep and where there's weapons and never a Santa. We turn a stanza to a cancer with poetic banter. So no fact to that. Chat, which rappers crack? I cold turkey that prat, let you have him back. If we believe you act like you believe that you could rap, get punished for stupid beliefs, and it's more than slaps. The impact on the head of the hard-headed, bet that he get his little rep and facade deaded. In the ring with the king of the paragraphs. Come on then, sweetheart, let us have a dance. Your twinkle toes and pretty pose could never dazzle. The one who froze 1,000,000 souls and it's never hassle. Battle's a pleasure for a general, nobody told you. Smash you a hole that is big enough to snatch your soul from fire in the booth, booth.
They call me Mr. Fire in the booth. Booth. They call me Mr. Fire in the booth. Booth. Cause I'm always spitting out the truth. The truth. They call me Mr. Fire in the booth. Booth. They call me Mr. Fire in the booth. Booth. They call me Mr. Fire in the booth. Booth. Cause I'm always spitting out the truth. I take them out, cause that's the way I'm raised. Maybe in your culture, suicide is being brave. The sage of the page make graves, plagues of dark ages. And ain't no choice to be buried, I only do cremated for little idiots. Not even hated, not even rated, not even a factor that needs to be calculated. And you can't explain it, much less contain it. Roll with us or get crushed, I have already stated in the plainest terms. But fools never learn, still trying to be what they not, like wearing the blondest perm. Cause I lost the purpose, I have you lost on purpose. Can't escape the furnace, so best you praise my verses. Look around, the cooning's a lot. I spit a sentence quick, like a judge with a coon in a dock. Yet these clowns with their dead sound hate me. Still they don't count like a dead brown baby. They call me Mr. Fire in the booth. Booth. They call me Mr. Fire in the booth. Booth. They call me Mr. Fire in the booth. Booth. Cause I'm always spitting out the truth. The truth. They call me Mr. Fire in the booth. Booth. They call me Mr. Fire in the booth. Booth. They call me Mr. Fire in the booth. Booth. Cause I'm always spitting out the truth. The truth. Knowledge is Power Volume 2 out now. Real hip hop music.